If your restaurant is making pennies instead of millions, you're probably making at least one of these 8 mistakes in Restaurant Tycoon 3. And now I'm going to show you how to avoid it. And if you want to see more guides and tips in the future, make sure to subscribe and let's begin. And by the way, the first person to correctly guess where this picture was taken will receive 1000 Robux. Leave your guess in the comments. The first mistake that you should avoid is putting all your dishes on the menu. This is probably the biggest mistake of them all, because you will lose an insane amount of money if you do this. It might look cool to have lots of dishes on the menu, and it might actually help in a way, because it will boost your food rating. But don't be fooled by this idea, because when you have all your dishes on the menu, the most expensive dishes will be ordered less often, and you will make a lot less money. You see, customers don't actually care about the size of your menu, they will just buy whatever is available, and if that is a $25 meal instead of a $7 meal, then they will buy it without hesitation. Think of it like this. Your customers haven't eaten in days, so they will eat no matter the price of your food, because they really need that nutrition. And if you want to make the most amount of money, have only your most expensive dishes on the menu, even though it might mean that you will have 3 dishes in total. Doing this seems odd, but it will just give you free money. The second mistake that you should avoid is having a lot of tables. This mistake sounds a bit odd, because you do want a lot of tables to house a lot of customers, but there is a pitfall here you might not have thought about. When expanding the restaurant, a lot of players build tables that fit 2 to 4 customers, maybe 6 if they are strategic. Now, if you want to build a pretty restaurant, it is more realistic that way, but if you want to earn money as quickly as possible, you should build tables of 8 to 12 customers. That way, you will get much larger customer groups, which naturally earns you more money. But why does it matter that all 12 customers sit at one single table and not, for example, on 6 different tables? Well, if you have one single table of 12 and a customer group of 12 enters your restaurant, your servers only need to greet those 12 customers once. They only need to take their order once and collect their dishes once. But if you would have 6 tables of 2 instead, your servers would have to do 6 times as much work. With larger tables, your servers don't need to do as many of these small tasks and can rather just deliver food to the tables, making your restaurant work so much more efficiently. And if you don't know how to build these kinds of tables, I have a tip video covering it on my YouTube channel. Now, the third mistake that you should avoid is building a large restaurant. Now, this mistake honestly sounds a bit counterintuitive, but it's actually really important. A lot of players build the restaurant big and spacious, and although that works well for a pretty restaurant build, it will make your income stagnate. If you want to make money as quickly as possible, what you should rather do is to have your tables as close to the kitchen as possible. One simple trick is to place the kitchen in the middle of your restaurant, making it so that the servers don't need to walk across the entire plot to deliver food. By then pairing this strategy with having larger tables, the efficiency of your restaurant will increase by a massive amount. And during the testing for the 3 layouts video, the third layout increased the income by a whole 40% from the second layout, just because it was really compact. You don't need to build an ultra compact restaurant like the third layout, but at least place the kitchen in the center and try to move the tables closer to it. Now, the fourth mistake that you should avoid is not leveling up your milestones. A lot of people make this mistake without even thinking about it. As quickly as they get a couple of chefs and some servers, they just sit back, relax, and watch their money grow. But although that sounds really soothing, what you really should be doing is grinding that cooking until you reach at least level 5 in chopping, baking, and frying, making you unlock the stores at the plaza. And once you also reach level 5 in farming and management as well, you can upgrade all your dishes, making you earn on average 33% more money for every dish you have upgraded. 33% might not sound like much, but if you earn $30,000 per hour, that means you will make an entire $10,000 more per hour. Not to mention that the progress on milestones is also kept across all saves, meaning that you never need to worry about them again once they are all maxed out. Now, the fifth mistake that you should avoid is picking the wrong starter restaurant. There are tons of restaurant designs in the game and most of them look really good, but if you pick one of the smaller restaurants, like for example the modern restaurant, you will of course get a beautiful restaurant, but you will also have very little space. Now this depends on whether you want to have the coolest starter restaurant or if you want to print money. And if you want to print money, you should pick the white box bistro. Yes, it might be quite ugly, but my days, it has so much space you can use for chairs and tables. The sixth mistake that you should avoid is picking the wrong country. Same as with mistake number 5, which country you pick can make or break your entire playthrough, because some countries like the UK and Japan offer dishes that are so much more expensive than the other countries, meaning that picking a country like Norway, which I did in my Spending 100 Days video, is of course fun, but will definitely not make you as much money as if you would pick the UK or Japan. I explained why these countries are so good in my money guide on the YouTube channel. The seventh mistake that you should avoid is not boosting the restaurant rating. You could call this more of a tip than a mistake, because boosting the restaurant rating isn't necessarily that important, but it does benefit your restaurant in 2 different ways. Number 1, it does open up for customers such as birthday customers and food critics, possibly also celebrities in the future. And with these types of customers, you will earn slightly more money. And number 2, it also works as an advertising boost when you have a higher rating, meaning it indirectly boosts income again. But one thing is for sure, and that is that having more stars looks cool either way, so why not improve it? And by boosting both hygiene and atmosphere, which is the easiest way to add 2 whole stars to your rating with only a couple small tricks, you can get a 3-star restaurant with almost no effort. For hygiene, all you need is this, and for atmosphere, all you need is this. You can check out my money guide for more specific information on rating. Now on to the 8th and most crucial mistake of them all, and that is to buy the Auto Money Collection Game Pass. If you have the Robux, it is so worth it. And as well as that, you should also check out my Discord server for a really good community. You should also check out this video where I show you 12 tips to get rich.